let me say something that nobody in the online business space actually wants to say out loud. People, they don't trust you, at least not yet. And it's not because you're not good at what you do. It's not because your offer is bad. It's not because you're not posting enough. It's because we're living in the middle of a full-blown trust recession. And if you don't understand what that means for your business right now, you're going to keep grinding, keep posting, keep showing up and wondering, where are the clients? Stay with me, because in today's video, I'm going to show you the exact system that my clients are using to break through that wall and fill their calendars with high-ticket sales calls without burning out, without running complicated funnels, and without selling their soul to the algorithm. So here's what's happening in the market right now, and nobody's really talking about it, honestly. Trust is at an all-time low. People have been burned. They've bought the course that didn't deliver. They hired the coach who disappeared after the contract was signed. They invested in the program that was all hype and no substance. They've seen the fake screenshots. They've heard the empty promises. And we are not even getting into AI in this video. So right now, people are skeptical of everyone, including you. And it used to take maybe 2 or 3 touch points for someone to go from stranger to paying client. A reel, a DM, a sales call, done and dusted. Well, that era is over. Today's buyer needs anywhere from 7 to 12 meaningful touch points before they're even ready to pull out their credit card. And I'm not talking about 7 Instagram posts. I'm talking about 7 moments where they genuinely felt seen, helped, and like they could actually trust you with their money and their goals. That's the game now. And here's the thing. Most online professionals are still playing by the old rules. They're posting once a day, sending cold DMs, maybe running an ad and wondering why their conversion rate is in the gutter. You know, we're talking about coaches, finance professionals, real estate agents, therapists, virtual assistants. The ones that are winning right now, you know, they figured out something critical. You don't just need more leads, you need more trust, and you need a system that can build that trust at scale. That's exactly what I'm going to show you today. Real quick, if you are a high-ticket service provider of any kind, this is for you. I work with coaches, I work with people in finance, real estate professionals, therapists building private practices, virtual assistants scaling their businesses, online service providers of every kind. The common thread across every single one of them is this. They're incredible at what they do, they have a great service-based offer, and they're tired of being the best kept secret in their industry. That's you. Keep watching, because I'm about to lay out the simplest, most effective lead generation system that I've seen work across all of those niches. Let me paint you a picture of what most people are doing right now. They're waking up every morning and hopping on Instagram. They're posting a reel, writing a caption, responding to comments, sending a few DMs, hoping the algorithm blesses them today. And then they do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. And it ends up being a bit of a hamster wheel. And it's super exhausting, and the ROI for most people, crickets. Or maybe they've tried ads, they spent a few $100s, got some clicks, maybe a few followers, 0 clients, and decided that, oh, I guess ads don't work. Or they're doing all of it, posting, running ads, doing live, showing up in stories, and they're still not hitting consistent 10, 20, 30K months. The truth is, it's not a content problem. It's not an ads problem. It's a trust infrastructure problem. You don't have a system that builds trust at scale. You're relying on one platform, one type of content, one touch point, and hoping it's enough. It's not enough anymore. Not in this market. You need a micro trust funnel, and you need it running on autopilot. Okay, so let me break this down in plain language, because I don't want to confuse you with a bunch of fancy tech talk. A micro trust funnel is simply a system of small, consistent touch points that move someone from a cold stranger to warm, ready to buy prospects without you having to manually chase every single lead. Now, the word micro, it really matters here. These aren't big grand gestures. They're small moments of value, connection, and proof that stack up on top of each other until the trust threshold is crossed and the person is ready to say yes. Think about how trust actually works in real life. You know, you don't trust someone after one conversation. You trust them after you've seen them show up consistently, after they've given you something valuable with no strings attached, after you've watched them help other people, after you've seen who they are, not just what they sell. That's what this funnel does automatically. Here's how it works in 3 layers. Layer 1, I like to start by really dialing in one platform. For me, that's Instagram. I call this my Instagram client acquisition engine. This is where the relationship starts. Honestly, everyone's on Instagram. Instagram should probably be your first touch point. It's where people discover you, start following you, and begin to get a feel for who you are and what you stand for. But here's where most people get it wrong. You know, they treat Instagram like it's a big billboard. They post and they pray, sometimes sometimes that post is kind of random too, or they're broadcasting instead of attracting. Inside my Sovereign CEO Scale program, I teach what I call the Instagram client acquisition system, and it's the foundation of this entire funnel. It starts with a targeted follower ad that puts you in front of your exact ideal client every single day, not random people, not tire kickers, the specific person who needs what you offer and has the money to pay for it. This is the person who will get the best result from your program, the person that will take action on every single piece of your program, because your business grows when your clients get results, not just join your program. Now, here's how that works. That person starts following you, they start seeing your content, they're nurtured by your deeper content about your process, about your method. You have belief shifting content, so they really know that they're in the right place. You've handled their objections, you show proof of concept. And the key here is your content on Instagram isn't just entertainment, it's super strategic. You're not just doing like trending dance reels. Every reel, every story, every post is designed to build a specific type of trust so you can move that person one step closer to a conversation with you. And honestly, this is where so many online entrepreneurs get lost. They focus on vanity metric content only, trending reels, entertaining reels, the things that get a lot of likes. Knowing how to get attention is really important, but even more important is knowing how to utilize that attention afterwards, or getting the right kind of attention from the right people. You need to be clear and you need to know how to bring people through that funnel. This is why I do market research for every single new client. I study the high performers in their industry and their top performing pieces of content based on views. We look at what the market likes, then we look at what they like, and then what they could make quickly. That is the perfect trifecta of content creation. Now we have interesting content, but better yet, content that is in relation to their offer, that gets attention, that is super tight, and that the client can make quickly. You know, for my finance clients, this looks like short form content that positions them as the go-to authority on wealth building. So think investing strategies, money mindset, money habits, legacy building tools, and sometimes tech. For my real estate clients, it's usually market insights, behind the scenes content that builds credibility. For coaches and therapists, client transformation content is king. You know, that's going to make the right person feel deeply understood on their journey. So again, Instagram is the top of the funnel. It's the sidewalk, and your job is to get people off the sidewalk and into your storefront. So the algorithms are changing now. You need that second layer. Free communities is your trust accelerator. This is the piece that most people are sleeping on it, and it's a big mistake. It's the biggest single shift that I've seen in lead generation in the last 2 years, and you need to be utilizing the strategy. Your private community becomes your storefront. When someone makes the conscious decision to leave Instagram and join your free online community group, something inside them shifts. Now they're not just a follower anymore, they're a member. They've raised their hand and said, I want more of what you have. People love belonging to a community. A lot of people also love getting off of social media these days. Now, we want to make sure that inside of that community, the trust building goes into overdrive. People want to belong right now. They're fatigued from social media. And look, I personally help my clients get more visibility on social, and there's a lot that we can do to amplify that. But it's challenging to master the art of content creation, to bust through the algorithm with AI slop and everything saturating these apps. I mean, what better way to capture someone's attention, someone who likes what you do and what you stand for, than bringing them into a private community where they're guaranteed to get the things that you're serving up in there, whether that is trainings or live meetups or free courses. Now, they're watching your training content in the classroom. They're seeing other members get results from utilizing what you're teaching in there. They're starting to engage in conversations. They're showing up to your weekly live calls. They're getting nurtured in a way that no social media platform can replicate. And here's where this is a game changer for lead generation specifically. When it comes to ad spend, if that's your thing, the cost to get someone into a private community is a fraction of what it costs to get a follower on Instagram. We're talking $2 to $3 per lead compared to $6 or even $10 per follower. And the quality of that lead is exponentially higher because they've taken an active step to be there. Now, you don't need to use ads to implement this strategy, but that's those are some really great numbers to look at. I think it's because the community is tangible if you set it up right. Now, for my clients in finance, coaching, real estate therapy, virtual assistants, this is where the magic really happens. Their private communities are becoming the most powerful sales tool in their entire business. Not because they're just hard selling inside the group, but because by the time someone gets on a sales call with them, the trust is already there. The objections are already handled. The decision is practically already made. They've already seen the wins. They've seen the proof. They've seen other people excited also about what you do. Now, what communities do I recommend? There are lots of different community platforms. My favorites, hands down, are Circle and School. Now, you have way more capabilities on Circle, but honestly, School is my favorite for the simple design and layout for you and them. And you can also start a free hobby community, so it's got less features for only $9 a month on School. I'll make sure to drop a link for that in the comments so you guys can go and check it out and set up your own private community if this conversation interests you. Now, layer 3 is the conversion. Sometimes people forget about this part. Once someone's been through your Instagram content, they spend time in your community, getting them on a sales call is not a heavy lift, but you have to ask. And you remember, you're not cold calling, you're not chasing people, you're not convincing, they're already there. These people are warm, they're hot, they have already been pre-sold. They're ready for a conversation about how you can help them and get a specific results. But you have to ask. You have to be brave enough to reach out to community members and say, I can help you with that. What's your goal? Because I help this kind of person get that exact result. Would you like to hop on a call with me? This funnel is simple and it works. Instagram builds awareness and starts the relationship. Your community deepens the trust and pre-sells the prospect. The sales call closes the deal. Now, I'm going to break down what makes a really good community in another video here. We're also going to talk about things like ethical sales techniques that work and feel good for you and them, but that's for another video. In the meantime, though, I really want to make this concept real for you because I know some of you are sitting there thinking, okay, Carla, this sounds great for coaches, but does it really work in my industry? Yes, and here's how. Okay, let's say you're a finance professional. Think about the trust barrier in financial services. People are terrified of making the wrong money decision. They've been burned by bad advice. They don't know who to trust. So when a financial coach or an advisor or anyone in this realm, when they run this funnel, when they run the Instagram client acquisition system, when they build a private community on Circle or School around financial education, something powerful happens. Their prospects are coming to sales calls, having already consumed hours of your content. They already believe in the person's expertise. They already feel safe. The conversion rate on those calls, it goes through the roof. My clients in this niche in finance, they're booking 2, 3, 4 times the number of qualified sales calls that they were booking before. Not because they're working harder, but the trust infrastructure is really doing all the heavy lifting. They have core short courses or one really good freebie that their ideal client actually wants to consume. Some of them do weekly live calls, and they talk about topics like saving, investing, budgeting. So it's not just about selling their offer. They'll also talk about their process for getting people results. My clients in real estate. So real estate is a relationship business. It always has been, but the game has changed. Buyers and sellers are doing more research than ever before. They're vetting agents online before they ever pick up the phone. They're also looking at their Instagram presence, their brand, all of these things. And the agents who are winning right now are the ones who have built a brand and a content ecosystem that positions them as the local authority and a community where potential clients can get real value before they ever commit to working with someone is the move. One of my real estate clients went from really sporadic referrals, so it was super seasonal, to a consistent pipeline of warm leads booking calls every single week. The School community really became their secret weapon. People would join, they'd consume the content, they'd see the weekly property drops, and then they'd reach out when they were ready to list or buy. This is so good for clients that are in the market, they're keen, and they have a focused place to look at all this content without getting distracted by everything else on social media. And for coaches, I know this works well for coaches, but it's also the most saturated market on the internet right now. It seems like everyone's a coach. Everyone has a program. Everyone has a transformation story. The coaches who are cutting through all of that noise are the ones who have built real trust infrastructure, not just a pretty curated Instagram feed with Canva quotes and a sexy photo shoot. No shade if you've done those things. They're just not that important. The coaches that are winning have a system that takes someone from stranger to friend and fan before they ever get on a call. My coaching clients are seeing their show up rates on sales calls increase dramatically. Their close rates are going from 20% to 70%, and their refund rates are non-existent because the people that are getting on calls are already pre-sold. They're not tire kickers. They do the work and they're buyers. What about therapists? The therapy space is super fascinating because trust is literally the entire product. If someone doesn't trust their therapist, then the work doesn't happen. Therapists who are building private practices and scaling their income are using this exact system to attract ideal clients who already feel a connection before the first session. The private community becomes a space for psychoeducation, community support, and trust building that makes the intake process feel supernatural and really easy. Been in one of these communities myself. And if we look at other more service-based businesses like virtual assistants, VAs are selling their time and their skills. And in a market flooded with options, the ones who win are the ones who have positioned themselves as the obvious choice. So some of my VA clients, clients, they're using Instagram and school to showcase their expertise. They share behind the scenes content, lots of how-to videos, and they build communities around the specific problems that they solve. Also, what they find is a lot of people start learning the skill for themselves, and then they're like, hey, that's cool, but I don't want to do it. Can I just hire you? So they end up attracting higher ticket clients who see them as a strategic partner and not just a task executor. They also appreciate the work that goes into it because sometimes they tried it themselves first. So for these folks, their income has gone up, their client quality has gone up, and they're finally working with the people that they actually enjoy working with. And a quick question that I get a lot about sharing value and how much you should share a lot. Share way more than you think. Stop gatekeeping. You have to show people that you know what you're talking about. This is what Hormozi teaches, and he has a $100 million business. And across every single one of these niches, the pattern is the same. More touch points, more valuable content. That's going to equal more trust, more sales calls, and more income. Now, I want to talk about something that doesn't get said enough in conversations about lead generation and funnels. This isn't just about making more money. It's about building a business that actually sets you free. Because here's what happens when you don't have a trust system in place. You become a slave to your own business. You're constantly reinventing the wheel and chasing new strategies. You're endlessly creating content that nobody sees. You're on Instagram all day hoping that someone DMs you. You're stressed about where the next client is going to come from, and you're literally one bad month away from panic mode. That's not freedom. That's an absolute prison, a hellhole. And the whole point of building this system, the Instagram client acquisition system, the micro trust funnel, the school community, is so that your business is working for you, even when you're not working. Leads are coming in, trust is being built, prospects are being nurtured, sales calls are being booked, and you get to show up and do the work that you actually love. Coaching your clients, serving your community, living your life. That's the Freedom First business model, and it's totally available to you right now. Let me give you the simple version of everything I just said so that you can walk away from this video with a really clear picture. So step one, you're going to run a targeted follower ad on Instagram to attract your ideal client every single day. This is your awareness engine. It runs in the background. You can automate this while you live your life. Step two, you need to create strategic content on Instagram that builds trust and positions you as the go-to authority in your space. Not random content, intentional content designed to move people through a trust journey. Step three, drive your Instagram audience into your free community. I recommend School or Circle. This is where the relationship deepens. This is where the real trust gets built, and this is your storefront. Step four, inside of your free community, deliver consistent value, weekly live calls, training content in the classroom, community engagement. Let people see who you are, how you think, and what it's like to be in your world. And step five, invite warm, pre-sold prospects to a sales call with you. Not a pitch, a conversation, because by this point, they already know that they want to work with you. You're just helping them make the decision final. That's it. 5 steps, 1 system, infinite leverage. You can rinse and repeat this forever. So here's where I land with this. If you are a health or finance professional, a real estate agent, therapist, coach, anyone selling a high ticket, high value service, something tangible, something real, and you're tired of like these feast and famine cycles, tired of chasing leads, tired of posting into the void and getting nothing back, this system is for you. Inside Scale, I walk you through the entire Instagram client acquisition system from scratch. We build your free community together. We dial in your messaging so you're attracting the right people. We set up the trust infrastructure so your leads are warm before they ever get on a call with you. And the result is simply more sales calls, higher close rates, more income, and a business that actually feels like freedom. If you're ready to stop guessing and you're ready to build something that works, click the link below and book a call with me or my team. We're going to find out where you're at right now, where you want to go, and whether scale is even the right fit for you to get there. No pressure, just an honest conversation about your business and what's possible. And if it's not a good fit, I'm going to send you home with some strategic action steps to help get you to the point where you could work with us one day. So click the link, book the call. Let's build something that actually sets you free, and hit that subscribe button if you found this video helpful, because I'm going to be making a lot more content like this, diving into systems that help make you more money and help grow your business in the online space.